Hi everyone. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Ellendary. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I'm here to help you establish and maintain a consistent Speak Out home practice routine. With Parkinson's, it is so important that you are exercising your voice every single day. In addition to exercising your voice every morning, I strongly recommend that before dinner, before social engagements, before important meetings, that you warm up your voice. Start thinking of your voice box, or your vocal folds as an instrument. It is an instrument. And just like if you played the violin, you might practice in the morning, and then before your performance, you would warm up your instrument, and you need to do that too. So today what I'm going to do is go through what a typical warm-up would be, and then I'm going to talk about working on your cognitive skills, specifically if you use crossword puzzles. So let's go ahead and take a sip of water, and then I'll go through what a warm-up would be, like in the afternoon or evening, and then we're going to talk about crossword puzzles. Make sure to take plenty of sips of water as you do these exercises. So a warm-up in the afternoon or evening is a little bit different from exercising in the morning. A warm-up might only take you 5 or 10 minutes to do. It's something you could do in the car if you're not driving, and just something to wake your voice up and get you ready to speak with intent. So a warm-up would consist of 3 may, me, my, mo, moos. Let's go ahead and do that together. May, me, my, mo, moo. Lots of intent. Connect the sounds as best you can. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Throw your voice in front of you. Speak out. One more time. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. Take a sip of water. A warm-up consists of 3 warm-ups, 3 may, me, my, mo, moos. After the may, me, my, mo, moos, you would do 3 ahs. Let's do them together. Open that mouth with intent and project your voice forward. Ready? Ah. Good. No need to hold it longer than 10 seconds, and if it's a little bit less, it's okay. Let's do the second ah. Ah. Good. One more ah. Ah. Good. So normally when you do your exercises in the morning, you would do 5 of the may, me, my, mo, moos and 5 of the ahs. But for a warm-up for later on in the day, it's just 3. Let's do some glides now. Project a steady ah forward and slowly glide up. Here we go. Ah. Ah. Let's take a sip of water with intent. Think about it when you grab that cup. Think about everything that you do. Use intent for everything. when you focus, when you concentrate, when you are deliberate, you are activating a motor system that is not as dependent on dopamine, and that's why it works. That's why I think intent is the most important word for everybody with Parkinson's. Okay, we have 2 more glides for this warm-up. Ready? Good. Okay, one more. One more glide. Steady and then glide. Here we go. The sound is always in front of you. Let's take a sip of water with intent. We're doing everything with intent. All right, I'm showing you what a warm-up is. It is so important. So 3 me, me, my, mo, moos. 3 ahs. 3 glides. Then we want to do some talking where we have to move the lips and the tongue. So we count to 10 forwards and backwards. Okay? Here we go. With intent, speak out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, so that's for the warm-up. And then the last thing you do, you're trying to mimic something that is a little bit closer to conversation, okay? Running speech. So the last part of a warm-up, you should think of something that you know very well. The Pledge of Allegiance, a prayer. It could be even a nursery rhyme. That would be okay. A poem that you know, or lyrics to a song. Something where it's running speech, okay? So let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're joining us from another country, okay, you can just put me on mute and you recite your pledge, okay? So you need something where you're going to speak out in a nice, strong voice. Ready? Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So when you recite your pledge, your poem, your song, something, you're being very deliberate. And then repeat it one more time with even more intent. So speaking out even more. And again, if you're joining us from another country, you can just put me on mute and you go ahead and do the pledge for your country. More intent. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. When you do this, it has to be something that you know very well, because otherwise you're turning it into a cognitive exercise, and we can't do that. So make sure that whatever you pick, because this warm-up you should be able to do it in the car. You shouldn't have to have something to read. You're just trying to warm up the vocal folds. It will always be easier to speak with intent if you have warmed up your voice. So even though, you might think nursery rhymes are childish, it doesn't matter what the content is. We just need you to be saying one sentence after another. So let's try this, something else you could do. Let's recite Jack and Jill, okay? I know that we're not children. It's not about that. It's about taking the breaths, moving the vocal folds, and moving the lips and the tongue, and saying something that is more closer to conversation, meaning how you're stringing the words. Let's do Jack and Jill twice. Ready? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Okay, very simple. Now repeat it with more intent. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So whatever you choose, it's got to be something you know very well. I have a funny story. I had a gentleman who was at a hotel, and his daughter was getting married, and it was almost his time. They were getting ready to start the speeches, and he had been working on a toast. He wanted to give the toast at his daughter's wedding. But before, he found himself getting very nervous, and his voice wasn't coming out the way that he wanted it to. So he found a closet in the hotel, went into the closet, and did his warm-up for 5 minutes, and then he was able to give his speech. It will always be easier for you to speak with intent if you have warmed up your voice. Again, think of that analogy of a musical instrument. Okay, take a sip of water. I hope that is helpful to you. So everybody should be doing those speak out exercises in the morning and then warming up their voice for 5 to 10 minutes only, once or twice a day later on in the day. All right, something I want to talk to you about is cognitive exercises. A lot of people come to me and they say, well, I do crossword puzzles every day. And my question to you is, and that's good that you do the crossword puzzles, but in terms of keeping the voice strong and helping you to speak in conversation, you need to do the cognitive exercises out loud. So the challenge with Parkinson's is being able to organize your thoughts and then get the words out your mouth with intent. And if you do the crossword puzzles to yourself, that might be helping your cognitive skills, but it's not going to help you with conversation. Okay? So I'm going to show you some words here, and I have a crossword puzzle in front of me. All right, this is a very simple one, okay, but this is what is just easier. So I'm going to, let's pretend this is a crossword puzzle, and I'm going to show you some ways to work on conversation while using a crossword puzzle. So first of all, you could read the phrase or the clue. In this case, I'm looking at it. I'm only showing you the answers. But the first clue is beginning of summer. So everybody say that with intent. Beginning of summer. Now say it with more intent. Beginning of summer. So can you control your voice and say it 2 different ways? A lot of people with Parkinson's can't control their voice. So saying it 2 different ways is very good. Now, which answer is the beginning of summer? Say it with intent. That's right, June. So let me show you some ways that you can practice your cognitive and your conversation skills. Let's spell the word June forwards and backwards. Ready? J-U-N-E. Backwards. E-N-U-J. Let's do it again with more intent. J-U-N-E. And backwards. E-N-U-J. Which month is June? What number month in the year is it? Did you say 6 with intent? Now answer the question in a complete sentence. Which month in the year? What number month is the month of June? Use a complete sentence and say it with intent. Make up a different sentence with the word June in it. Say every word with intent. And now let's work on our word finding. When you think of June, I want you to name some items that you associate with the month of June and say each one with intent. Go ahead. All right. So this is how, when you're doing crossword puzzles, you can turn it into more of a cognitive exercise that will help you with conversation. Let me give you the next clue. A small body of standing water. What's the right answer? Look at our choices. A small body of standing water. Pool. Okay, again, this is very simple, but for this exercise, I just want you to get the idea. Everybody repeat with intent, a small body of standing water, and speak out. Ready? A small body of standing water. Now say it with even more intent. Control it. A small body of standing water. Now, pool. Spell the word pool forwards and backwards without stopping. Ready? P-O-O-L. L-O-O-P. Do it with more intent. P-O-O-L-L-O-O-P. When you think of a pool, okay, I want you to name some items. Tell me about if you have a pool at your house. What do you have to do to maintain it? I want you to just talk for a moment. Tell me what's required to maintain a pool and say every word with intent. Go ahead. Okay. Were you able to speak out? Were you able to talk in conversation? Let me ask you this. If you had a child or grandchild or even yourself, do you recommend getting a house that has a pool? What are the pros? What are the cons to having a pool? Say every word with intent. How much do you think it costs to maintain a pool every month at a house? How much would it cost? Okay. Now, so you get the idea of how we could use crossword puzzles to work on this. Now, it would be very frustrating to do a whole crossword puzzle like this. But how about putting a timer on? And I do suggest putting a timer. Putting a timer on for 15 minutes and saying, when I work on this crossword puzzle, I'm going to spend 15 minutes, just 15 minutes, not more, doing the crossword puzzle in a way that will help me to speak with intent in conversation. So you put the timer on, you do what we just did for 15 minutes, and then you turn off the timer and you enjoy the rest of the crossword puzzle to yourself. I think everybody should be working on these cognitive skills, conversation skills every day. I think it's really important. Okay, go ahead and take a sip of water. Go ahead and chat. Let me know if that was helpful to you. We're going to end with Dr. Boone's words. Ready? Each one twice. Gu la gan ga ga. Gu la gan ga ga. Next one, exaggerate. Ku ka man gu ka. Again. Ku ka man gu ka. Two more. Ready? Gangla. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. It is a lot of work to maintain speech and swallowing with Parkinson's, but it is possible. The one good thing about Parkinson's is that it responds very well to exercise, and so if you put the work in, you will see the results. If you're really struggling with your speech, don't just do the morning speak out exercises. Try to incorporate intent into everything that you're doing, especially speaking and swallowing. Warm up your voice before social engagements or important phone calls or meetings. And then spend 15 minutes a day working on your cognitive skills, but out loud, because that is one way to help you transition what you learn in the exercises to conversational speech. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will be back on Monday. Thank you.